Hey, it's a special what's happening to all my soldiers over there in Iraq. Everybody right here. What you need to do is be thankful for the life you got, you know what I'm saying? Stop looking at what you ain't got, start being thankful for what you do got. Let's get it to him, baby girl. Hey, that's right.
I seriously think I wouldn't be where I am today if I had stayed in that environment. I entered foster care at the age of, I would say like 13, 14. It was like around close to my birthday. And after that, you know, I was moved around from different placements, foster homes and group homes. Then I finally came to Bessemer, I think I would say 2007. And between the age of 14 to the age of 17, when I came, I was going through like these emotional changes, trying to figure out who I wanted to be, what I wanted to do. I was, I guess you could say, confused at the most part because I didn't know what I wanted out of life. Mm-hmm. And another problem I was having was this part of blaming everybody for some mistakes that I did because of my family. Mm-hmm. So, you know, after I went through that little stage and I finally came into a foster home, that's when things, you know, I guess you could say it began to change a little bit. It was still some emotional issues I was dealing with, but it wasn't as severe when I was in the group home. I didn't really trust anybody. And one day, it was this lady, her name is Miss Alice Wesher, and she would come to our group home to do something called the Youth Advisory Council meeting every second and fourth Monday, and she would come to our group home to perform those meetings. And at the time I had got on, you had to be on certain levels to go to those meetings. So I was on level and I was able to attend the meeting. At the time when I first saw her, I thought she was just another social worker. So at the time I really didn't trust social workers at the time. So one thing that stood out about her was her demeanor and her ability not to judge the kids there. And she was treating me like I was somebody. Mm-hmm. And I haven't felt that since I had gotten into foster care. Mm-hmm. And we was in a meeting and she said something, I don't know, I forgot what the conversation was about, but it had something to do with God. And she said something about God places challenges before us to test our will strength. And if we can come out through it, then it shows how powerful we are, that we are His temple. So after she said that, I guess you could say that's when things began to change. If it was not for Dr. Martin Luther King, if it wasn't for him instilling that thought into people's heads that people of other races, of other ethnicities, or other backgrounds could do something, then I wouldn't be at the University of Alabama. Anything that I do it for three things. One, God. Two, to show that as foster children, we don't have to place limits on ourselves. And three, to show that African American men can strive to be something else greater than what people have placed upon us.
Mm-hmm. What's the moment you're most proud of, or the moments you're most proud of?
Academically, it would have to be during Scholars Day at my Chesterton High School. And that day, you know, to find out that I received more than $1 million in scholarship and financial aid offers. And what made that moment so proud for me was that I beat out the top 10 students. You know, I would admit it was a little bit gratifying. I got into one of the most prestigious schools in Alabama. That just I don't know. Words can't express how I felt that day when I got the certificate. I have it framed now because that was the proudest moment ever. And I told myself that once I come to UA, I'm going to do everything possible to make sure I'm in the top 15% 1 year. Became the vice president of Phi Sigma, became an assistant director over St. Jude's, became a judicial for the Student Judiciary Board. And I just really do all this in 1 year. And it can be overwhelming, but what I tell myself is that I'm doing this all for a reason. That I just don't want to be just someone that goal is to get my undergraduate in social work with my minor in psychology. After that, I plan to get my master's in social work, and then after I get my master's, go to law school. I plan to become a guardian ad litem, a GAL. That's basically a child's advocate in court, whether they're foster children or children who don't have parents or something like that. You know, it's just a child's advocate in court. And the last career goal is to actually become a judge.